Good morning, good morning, good morning, my beautiful ones, my wise ones, my melanated ones. It is Sonia Renee, and today is Monday, December 16th. What a great day to be alive. What a great day to be alive. So, I want to share with y'all something that happened to me this morning. I was up, moving around, clear as a bell. I heard my godmother friend say, I was worried about you until I saw how you moved with Amber. Amber is my first daughter. So this is a long story which has a million other stories encapsulated in it. Oops, excuse me. Got my hanky because I might need it this morning. So I want to tell y'all about how my daughter Amber, my first daughter, changed my life. I was in foster care. I had been in foster care since I was 15. And I'll get back to that eventually also. However, when I found out that I was going to have a child, I was petrified but excited, but petrified. I was 18. I had, like I said, just got out of foster care. I don't even know how I got out of foster care. I don't know how I stopped being a ward of the state because nobody ever told me anything. Nobody ever shared anything. No, one day my social worker wasn't there and I didn't have anywhere to go. And I'm glad that I'm talking about this because I'm going to look into that later. Nonetheless, I was basically homeless. I did not have anywhere to go. So I found out about a facility called Florence Crittenton. It was a home for unwed mothers. At Florence Crittenton, they provide you with room and board and all of your medical, everything, and they counsel you on if you're going to keep your child, if you would like to give your child up for adoption. They help you with the adoption process. And at Florence Crittenton, I was honestly my thought process was, I know I have to bring this child into the world, but I wasn't sold on whether or not I was going to be the person to raise her. And at 18, being in foster care, going through everything that I had been through in my life, I didn't think I was capable of raising her. So I went to Florence Crittenton. While I was at Florence Crittenton, I didn't have a lot of contact with a lot of my family members because I was in a place where I really didn't know what to do. I felt like I couldn't necessarily call on some people because I had burned a lot of bridges. Because when you're a hurt child and you don't feel like you've been loved, when people really do try to love you, you don't know what that is. You don't know how to deal with that. So I had in reaction to a lot of things that had went on in my life, kind of went the other way. So that's all good too. But while I was at Florence Crittenton, I did develop a relationship with one of my aunts and my uncle. And they would come and pick me up, my father's sister, Aunt Donna. Thank you, Aunt Donna. Thank you, Uncle Dean. They would come and pick me up and let me come to their house on the weekends and pick me up for church. And eventually, Aunt Donna said, you know what, Renee? The Lord spoke to me last night and he said, I'm coming to get you. So she told me to pack up my things and I went to live with her. During the time that I was staying there, she had really wanted another child. So we talked about it, and my decision was going to be, because before I found out I was pregnant, I was honestly trying to go into the Navy. I didn't have anywhere to live. I knew I was smart enough to do it. So I went and took the ASVAB, was going into the Navy as a hospital corpsman. First time I went, I was 8 pounds overweight. They gave me 8 weeks, come back in 8 weeks, be done lost the weight, you're good to go. I went back in 8 weeks, I was 13 pounds underweight, but I was pregnant. So I couldn't go into the Navy. I was going to stay at Florence Crittenton until I had the baby. After I had the baby and put the baby up for adoption, my plan was to go into the Navy. And I thought it was a solid plan. I moved in with my aunt and uncle. They have 2 kids, 3 children. One doesn't live in the home, but 2 children that lived in the home. And my brokenness, they tried very, very hard to fix. But it can't be fixed externally. It has to be fixed internally. And I'm going to church with them, and things are going pretty good. I'm getting a feel of the structure in their household, and I like it because it was a vibe of family, something that I had experienced a few times before through other people who tried to love me. But like I said, when you're hurt and you're a child, and you can't even begin to imagine the internal things that a person goes through. Nonetheless, that's not even where I'm going. I'll come back to that in a future sit down. We go to church on this one particular night, and the pastor, there's a man there, he's preaching, and he's a visitor minister. He called me up out of the sitting down, and he asked me if he could lay hands on my stomach. And I said, sure. He laid hands on my belly, and he said, you cannot give this child up for adoption. That man didn't know I was getting ready to give her up for adoption. He had no clue. He said, you cannot give this child up for adoption because God says if you give this one up, they will not become who he intends for her to be. So at that point, we knew it was a girl. We already knew it was a girl, I think. I was about 7 months pregnant. I'm going to get through this, y'all. It's a blessing. It's such a blessing. So on that night, in front of my aunt and my uncle, who were going to adopt my daughter, the plan changed. The whole plan changed. I didn't know what to do. I wasn't wanting to be a single mother. Not at that point. I was willing to leave my child with my aunt and my uncle, who I love dearly, because I knew that they would take good care of her. They would raise her in a 2-family household. She would have access to a financial stability that I was not able to give her. And that's what I was looking at. That man of God said, everything that she needs, she has to get from you. It changed everything. I didn't think I could do it. I talked to my godmom friend, whose voice I heard this morning, and apparently she didn't think I could do it either. But it's something about when I held that little girl in my hands, when I looked into her eyes, and I knew her name was going to be Amber, because I had some names picked out, and I said, okay, well, we'll figure it out when she's born. She is, and has been, the most precious gift that I could ever have. And I did not deserve her then, and I do not deserve her now, and I am so thankful, so grateful that the Most High gave her to me, because she changed my life. When my godmother friend said I was worried until I seen how you handled her. She said you handled her with just enough firmness, but also enough gentleness to where I knew she was going to be okay. I said all of that to say, all of the things that I was thinking I could not do, all of the things that people were telling me I could not do, I was able to do all of those things. Because within me, there was something that should have never required thought. Should have never been a thought about whether I could love that baby. Should have never been a thought about whether I could impart wisdom into that baby. Never should have been a thought that someone else could do a better job than me. I said that to say on Monday, December 16th, 2024, there are things, thoughts, people in your ear, situations around you, external as well as internal, that are telling you that you cannot be successful at something. It may not be your job. It may not be, it is something primal. There is something within you that you know you're supposed to do. There is something that nudges you that you don't listen to. And you're allowing other people to help you subdue that primal instinct that you have to move in a way that your spirit knows that you can function at a high capacity for. I say that I function as a high capacity as a parent because not only did I raise my child, but I like to lovingly say I have 11 children that I didn't give birth to all of them because there was always about 9 or 10 extra ones around. And I love my extras. But above that, there are hundreds of children that I have taught, that I have worked with, that I have been able to impart some wisdom into. And I never knew I had it in me. It took somebody else to encourage me to do the thing that I knew I could do deep down within, but I was letting all the external and the internal negative responses tell me that I would not be good at it, that I would not be successful at it. The thoughts that we have been told, hearing voices from our ancestors is wrong, is demonic. Dreaming about our ancestors, deja vu, having premonitions, being able to see what's going on in front of us, listening to prophecies. Those gifts are gifts that we have. We have them, and they come without repentance. You don't got to apologize for them. You just got to use them. I don't know what your gifts are, but I know that each of us has our own unique, customized gifts just for us. Those gifts are intended to be shared, not held within, not shared. If I have to give you a scriptural reference, I must say the man with 10 talents, the man with 5 talents, and the man with 1 talent. The man with 10 talents thought that he was so superior, he shouldn't really do anything with his talent. If I'm not mistaken, I might be mistaken. Somebody in there didn't do what they were supposed to do with their talents. They buried them. They left them covered up. And when they went back, when the master came back to request what they had done with their talents, it's coming back to me. One of them said, I hid mine, I buried them, and I kept them safe. The man with the 1 talent did what he needed to do with his talent. It multiplied. It multiplied. It was worth more than the 10 talents that the individual was given the 10 talents for, because for whatever reason, the master divided the talents up into different amounts. I don't know if that was based upon the fact that he thought this person deserved more and that person deserved less. Ooh, but thank you. Maybe that is a societal thing that we deal with all the time. Maybe society thinks that some of us deserve more. Maybe we look at people and look like they deserve more. And we look at other people and feel like they deserve less. Not knowing the last shall be first, and the first shall be last, and the stone that the builder rejected will be the head cornerstone. Thank you, Bob Marley. I know that's in the Bible. I know it's in the Bible. I know it's songs about it. But me and Bob, we got a spiritual connection. His words have always spoke life to me. Fred Hammond, so many of his songs have always spoke life to me. Al Jarreau, there's a few of them out there that just spoke life to me. And I reflect back on music because I have a relationship with music. I want you today to think about how you think. How you perceive the things that are put before you so that you'll already know what to do when it happens. My daddy used to say, it ain't always good to know what you will do, but you better know what you won't do. There are some things that we shouldn't be doing. That's a little side note. And we know what those things are. But there are some things that we refuse to do. And we know what those things are too. We hold those things, we not doing it. Because it impacts our spirit, it impacts our morals, it impacts our judgment. And we've already said that because of these things, my character will not be slaughtered. Just because of these things now. It'd be some other stuff that we be done. It'd be some other stuff that we be done thought about. And a lot of times it's because of some situations that we put ourselves in, because we understand that at one point we did this and now we're at a point to where I can't do it no more. Ooh, that was for somebody. But our thoughts, think about the things that you've accomplished. This goes back to that spiritual resume. Look at your spiritual resume and don't allow your thoughts to hinder you. You're way stronger than you ever knew you were. You're really, really, really built for this. This is a part of your customized life's journey. Listen, think, meditates. Because the truth of the matter is, and truth is the only thing that we really, really, really have that does not change. The truth of the matter is, everything that you need, that I need, that we need, the Most High has it right within our reach. It's right within our reach. We just got to reach for it. We might have to dig a little for it. We might even have to work for it. But it's there. And we can tap into it if we want to tap into it. You can do it. You can do it. You can walk away from those beliefs that have you bound, that have you disbelieving who you know you really are. Everything began with a thought. Everything. Don't let your thoughts negate where you're going. Don't let the thoughts, the words, the actions of others keep you from going to where you know you're supposed to be going. Don't send your dream, your gift, to a dark place where you contemplate on giving it away because the surroundings, the things around you tell you that you can't do it. Look at your spiritual resume. Look at all of the things that you've accomplished, all of the things that others, forget about what other people said. All of the things that you have convinced yourself that you can't do, but you know you have the power to do it. You know you feel an unction, you feel an urge, you feel a call, you feel a pulling to something, but it's different. It's not the norm. Somebody else's norm is not your norm. Your norm might change the world because there's a whole bunch of stuff that we've been doing wrong, that we've been seeing wrong. I really just want us to think bigger, better, more beautiful, more magnificent. Why? Because we are bigger than this. We are better than this. We are so much more magnificent than this. And when we learn who we are ourselves, it makes our tribe bigger, stronger, more powerful. It is our time to rise and shine and give Yah glory. It's time. And we can do it. So as Fran, my godmother, she passed away on July 4th, 2013. Was it 13 or 12? It was either 12 or 13, but it was July 4th. She confirmed to me that she had questions. She had concerns, and rightfully so. But when she saw me handle my baby, she wasn't worried no more. I see you handling your baby. We see you handling your baby. We see you turning into a totally different person. And you can do it. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have all of the answers. What you need is to know that greater is within you than everything else that's in this world. Everything else that's in this world, greater is in you. Don't let the circumstances and situations and things going on around you tell you that you weren't built for this. Because you were built for this. Because before you were formed into your mother's womb, there were plans made for you. And those plans were for you to prosper. Those plans were for you to live a life of love, a life of wholeness. But even more than all of that, in order to have all of that, and in order to have all of that and all of that be permanent in your life, you have got to live in truth. And the truth of the matter is, you are magnificent. And we all see it. We just want you to see it too. This has been a heartfelt 26 minutes and 33 seconds for my beautiful ones, my wise ones, my melanated ones. But especially for my beautiful, wise, melanated ones. Wisdom Reborn loves you. And today, Monday, December 16th, 2024, gonna be a great day. Have a good one. Blessings, blessings, and blessings.